Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Queen Quaymo podcast. I want to give a shout out to everyone who has been listening from beginning to end. I'm in my 4th week, and I am a little bit behind in episodes. I only have 23 episodes, but my goal is to get caught up today because I'm taking a day to just kind of get back to recording because I have been grinding. I really have been grinding, trying to get my coins up, trying to get some stuff done. So I have kind of not been able to dedicate as much time to podcasting as I would have liked to. So today's topic that we're going to talk about today is the Haitian history. Since it's Black History Month, I want to include so many topics that can help all of us be inspired and remember where we come from so that we can get to where we are heading. It's a lot of importance about Haiti's because Haiti was one of the first countries to receive their independence from slavery. And so they had their own land. They fought hard for it. And because of the history and their fighting and them conquering their battle and, doing the revolution, they have now to this day have some devastation because of it. And it all boils down to racism and some of the disasters that they say are natural. We're not going to... Well, I'm not going to spoil it for y'all. Just keep listening today. This one is pretty important to me. Shout out to all of the Haitians. Shout out to all of the Black people. Shout out to the Jamaicans, the Cubans. I'm not leaving y'all out too. I'm going to also include you guys' history as well. It probably will be in a separate episode. But today I want to make this one specifically about Haiti's and probably a couple of other little additional nicks and knacks just to make up between the gaps. So I told you guys that I would include you the Hustler of the Week. Hustler of the Week I was supposed to give on Friday, but of course, like I told y'all, man, I've been so busy. I haven't been able to be on schedule, but I am trying to get back on track. So Hustler of the Week this week goes to Aisha Chanel from Elkhart, Indiana. She started her own event and event and party planning services. She makes outfits for people as well, like customizes outfits, and she's based in Elkhart, South Bend area. So shout out to her, y'all. If y'all see her, give her a shout out and let her know that I'm respecting her grind and hustle and to keep doing what she do. And I will be tagging her into Facebook and tagging you guys into my group. So if you guys aren't following me already on Facebook, my Facebook name is Quaymo, Montana. I do accept friend requests, and like I told y'all before, if you are a creep, I will treat you like a creep. If you come on my page with the rah-rah, I will give you the rah-rah. So please, don't come to my page with all that goofy shit because I'll give it back to you, okay? Don't let this voice fool you, okay? Because I will fuck you up. No, but seriously though, send me a friend request on Facebook. Thank everyone for listening. Shout out to Gary, Indiana, Chicago, Illinois, Elkhart, Indiana, Indianapolis, Indiana, California, Texas. I got people listening from Texas now, Atlanta, Georgia. There's been a lot of people supporting and vibing with me, and because of that, this is what I do it for. So thank y'all for listening. If you got topics that you want to send in, send me an email to jalisajoyner@gmail.com, and that's JHALYSSA@gmail.com. So yes, you guys just stay tuned and keep listening, and I hope you guys retain some of this information and spread the word. You feel me? So let's just talk a little bit about Haiti. So according to the U.S. Business Insider, they said that the Democratic Republic Congo is the poorest country based on the GDP per capita over 2009 and 2013. And the other non-African countries on the list of the poorest, the 23 countries in the world, was Nepal and Haiti. So Haiti has been known as one of the poorest countries in the world. And this is just now, but the thing is, the history of Haiti is such a significant one, especially to those of the Black community and African descent, because it was one of the first countries to have their independence from slavery. And it's because of that they've been paying for it ever since. They've been in all type of devastation. You know, Haiti's at one point in time was one of the richest territories to be ran by black people. And so when they broke free from slavery, a lot of other territories, including the U.S., France, Spain, and Germany, they wouldn't trade with Haiti. They wouldn't do any type of trade with Haiti. So Haiti's pretty much were isolated and were against all of these other countries. And they had to keep on fighting and keep on fighting to keep the independence that they had gained. So many other territories, so many other countries had teamed up to all go against Haiti's. And Haiti's was pretty much on their own, left to defend their own. So after doing the 13-year war, now the revolution that the Haitian Revolution pretty much was between the years of 1791 to like 18. Let me look up the year exactly so I could tell y'all the actual time frame. So the Haitian Revolution, it began in 1791 and then all the way up until 1801. So that's pretty much the timeline between the Haitian Revolution. And I pulled that up from the Brown University Library. And you can get on Google and pull more information up about that. So they had went on this war and they were just steadily fighting for like 13 years. They had just constantly were going to war. So they got tired. So the Haitians ended up getting tired because they just kept on fighting and fighting and fighting. So they end up getting into debt with France. They paid France like billions of dollars. And it took them like a century to pay that off. It took them like damn near 100 years to pay off all of this money towards France because of them losing the last few battles and just fighting all of these other countries and territories. So after all of this stuff had transpired, it's basically because all of the other countries and territories were so upset that the Haitians had became independent and they wanted to do anything that they could to keep them from prospering. They did not want to let that many black people overrun and overpower them. So now what I'm going to do is include a couple of clips that can explain this a little bit better than what I am doing. But you guys should definitely take a look into the Haitian Revolution and look more into the history of Haiti's. And because these are our people. Ultimately, these are our people. We all have the same descent. So it's good to just kind of know what's going on all across the globe. So yeah, I'm going to include a clip that can explain things a lot better than what I'm doing.
Christopher Columbus stumbled onto the Caribbean island that would come to be named Hispaniola, launching a wave of European colonization. The island's Taino natives were decimated by violence and disease, and the Europeans imported large numbers of enslaved Africans to toil in profitable sugar plantations. By 1777, the island had become divided between a French-controlled West and a Spanish-controlled East. A mass slave revolt won Haiti its independence from France in 1804, and it became the world's first black republic. But the new nation paid dearly, shut out of the world economy, and saddled with debt by its former masters. Meanwhile, the Dominican Republic would declare independence by first overthrowing Haitian rule of Eastern Hispaniola and later Spanish and American colonialism. Despite the long and collaborative history shared by these two countries, many Dominican elites saw Haiti as a racial threat that imperiled political and commercial relations with white Western nations. In the years following World War I, the United States occupied both parts of the island. It did so to secure its power in the Western Hemisphere by destroying local opposition and installing U.S.-friendly government.
Okay, you guys, that clip I pulled up, it came from YouTube and it was called The Ugly History about the Haiti's Revolution. And that was from Ted-Ed, and he has a lot of different videos that he posts about different crises throughout the history. So yes, now let's talk about the United States involvement with Haiti. So after Haiti got the independence from France in 1804 through the slave rebellion, the south of the United States, they was worried about Haiti's influence on the slaves in the United States. So America refused to recognize Haiti's independence up until 1862. So around that time, that's when President Andrew Johnson suggested annexing the island to secure influence over the Europe and the Caribbean. So the U.S. government never did follow through, but they did active military on the island during that period. So through the 19th centuries, the mulattoes and blacks often entered into conflicts and called foreign interventions. And so during this period, according to historian Hans Schmidt, the U.S. Navy sent ships to Haiti 19 times between 1857 and 1913. And they did this trying to protect the American lives property, so to speak. So it wasn't until the United States finally occupied Haiti until 1915. So yeah, the United States was actually really worried about the slaves starting to have that same type of attitude as the Haitians did, so that they can gain their independence. Because the Haitians had started, well, they didn't actually start it, because like I said in the first clip, the revolution began back in Africa when slaves were starting to reject. Well, I shouldn't say slaves, because they weren't slaves until they came into the United States. So they started rebelling. You know, they started rebelling in. They were killing themselves. They were jumping out of the boats. They were killing people coming to get them. And so the United States, they feared. You know, they didn't want. They knew that the slaves actually did outnumber the plantation owners, and just like in Haiti, the Africans had outnumbered the damn owners then. And so, you know, Haiti, they had them forcing them into them sugar camps and all of that other good stuff. So United States was trying to intervene. They didn't want that to happen. So this went on for years. Now in 1957 and 1971, Francis Duvalier governed over Haiti under a repressive dictatorship. But some argue that the United States tolerated the regime because it's staunchy anti-communist and counterbalance to communist Cuba during the Cold War. So it was just a lot of fuckery going on around that time. Now, this was going on even in 1957 all the way to the 70s. Then once Reagan got into office, Reagan had forced a lot of things to go into effect. Him and President Bush at the time. So their administration, they had like blocked in Haiti's, and they had suspended a lot of humanitarian aid that was going on there. So Haiti's, they never really had, even though they had the independence, they were never able to be back wealthy how they were, because no one would trade with them. So they just kept getting exploited. And so I'm going to play another clip, and this clip is going to kind of talk to you guys more about what happened with the other regions like the Dominican Republic, because see, the Dominican Republic and Haiti, they still conflict to this day. So this next clip is going to kind of break more into that, and this will talk more about the Haitian massacre and all that good stuff. I know I'm kind of jumping around with time, but it'll all make sense near the end.
Of history shared by these two countries, many Dominican elites saw Haiti as a racial threat that imperiled political and commercial relations with white Western nations. In the years following World War I, the United States occupied both parts of the island. It did so to secure its power in the Western Hemisphere by destroying local opposition and installing U.S.-friendly governments. The brutal and racist nature of the U.S. occupation, particularly along the remote Dominican-Haitian border, laid the foundation for bigger atrocities after its withdrawal. In 1930, liberal Dominican President Horacio Vázquez was overthrown by the chief of his army, Rafael Trujillo. Despite being a quarter Haitian himself, Trujillo saw the presence of a bicultural Haitian and Dominican borderland as both a threat to his power and an escape route for political revolutionaries. In a chilling speech on October 2, 1937, he left no doubt about his intentions for the region. Claiming to be protecting Dominican farmers from theft and incursion, Trujillo announced the killing of 300 Haitians along the border and promised that this so-called remedy would continue. Over the next few weeks, the Dominican military, acting on Trujillo's orders, murdered thousands of Haitian men and women, and even their Dominican-born children. The military targeted black Haitians, even though many Dominicans themselves were also dark-skinned. Some accounts say that to distinguish the residents of one country from the other, the killers forced their victims to say the Spanish word for parsley. Dominicans pronounce it perejil with a trilled Spanish R. The primary Haitian language, however, is Creole, which doesn't use a trilled R. So if people struggled to say perejil, they were judged to be Haitian and immediately killed. Yet recent scholarship suggests that tests like this weren't the sole factor used to determine who would be murdered, especially because many of the border residents were bilingual. The Dominican government censored any news of the massacre, while bodies were thrown in ravines, dumped in rivers, or burned to dispose of the evidence. This is why no one knows exactly how many people were murdered.
Yes, you guys, that clip actually came from the same source, the TED-ED. And I pulled that clip from YouTube so you guys could get on YouTube and look up the ugly history, the 1937 Haitian massacre. And that guy, TED-ED, has a lot of different videos that you guys could look up as well. So yes, this stuff about Haiti is very important because it still holds a lot of relevance today. So they try to make Haiti out to be such this poor country, and it's very horrible. There is so much crime. But I see a lot of similarities with what's going on in Puerto Rico right now here today. So it's like they've been trying to make those type of territories pay because of the abundance of people of color that are there. So it's an ongoing issue. I think that we definitely need to keep educating ourselves about the history because it will give us more understanding about what is going on today. So even with all of the stuff that Haiti's had going on, every time they've tried to rebuild and tried to do things on their own, we've had other countries that have tried to keep them down, including the United States. So I want to pull up one more clip, and I know y'all like, damn, bitch, all these clips. I'm going to include one more clip, and this one is going to talk about the rice deal that Bill Clinton did with Haiti. And this deal really like pissed me off when I found out exactly what happened with this. So I guess the United States called themselves trying to help Haiti get back on their feet. So Bill Clinton had did a rice deal and promised to build them rice. So what happened, the Haitians had stopped growing their own rice, and now to this day, because of whatever deal that the United States did with Haiti, they haven't been able to have the soil to reproduce their own rice and agricultural goods. So that's one of the problems. If we really wanted to help Haiti, we would have had to let them in on some sort of trade. So that's one of the reasons why they've been exploited and still to this day are one of the poorest countries. So it doesn't have nothing to do with the people of Haiti. It has everything to do with the country surrounding Haiti, why Haiti is in the condition that they are in today. So yeah, I'm going to play another clip. You guys just stay tuned, and we're going to keep on rocking.
After the earthquake, and still many people live in makeshift tents because of the earthquake from 2010. But being there in Port-au-Prince and seeing ceremonies with President Bill Clinton, who said there are two critical issues in his life at that time. One was the marriage of his daughter, the imminent marriage of Chelsea, and the other is the reconstruction of Haiti. He was a major force in Haiti. What happened?
So first of all, we have to go back when we look at Bill Clinton and his relationship in Haiti when he was president. One of the worst things that he's done that's still hurting Haiti now, especially in the wake of these disasters that keep happening to Haiti, is this policy where he took the excess rice from Arkansas, where he's from, and dumped it in Haiti and used our tax dollars to subsidize it. up until this past recent year, there's legislation that keeps getting knocked off to reverse this policy. Although he apologized for it.
Let's go to that apology. Yeah. Yes, in 2010, former President Clinton publicly apologized for forcing Haiti to drop tariffs on imported subsidized U.S. rice during his time in office. The policy wiped out Haitian rice farming, seriously damaging Haiti's ability to be self-sufficient. This is the president apologizing at a hearing before the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. At the time, he was the UN Special Envoy to Haiti.
Since 1981, the United States has followed a policy until the last year or so we started rethinking it, that we rich countries that produce a lot of food should sell it to poor countries and relieve them of the burden of producing their own food. So thank goodness they can leap directly into the industrial era. It has not worked. It's maybe been good for some of my farmers in Arkansas, but it has not worked. It was a mistake. It was a mistake that I was a party to. I am not pointing the finger at anybody. I did that. I have to live every day with the consequences of the lost capacity to produce a rice crop in Haiti to feed those people because of what I did. Nobody else.
That's President Clinton.
This practice is still in effect, and Haiti is always getting rice dumped on them. Rice is a staple. There's no reason why Haiti should be importing rice, because that's something that's always, the rice grown in Haiti is much healthier. Ever since this rice has been coming in, there have been diabetes epidemics. People didn't used to have that much diabetes. This is the worst thing that could have happened to Haiti.
But right now, in the aftermath of the hurricane, with Haitian officials warning there could be a famine, what are the most critical actions that you feel need to be taken?
I think it has to be supporting the farmers that are in these hardest hit areas. You know, by bringing rice and other things that could have been grown in Haiti, that's not helping at all. I think we need to support the farmers to start to recrop, you know, going forward and for the long term of Haiti. We need to start growing our rice in Haiti again, supporting the farmers in the Lartibonite region of Haiti, where rice has always been grown in Haiti and supplied for the entire country.
And for the families of loved ones who have died, for the cholera epidemic, what is most critical right now that you're hearing from family and friends there?
I just think support. I mean, most families are supported by their families over here. And the fact that these refugees are being returned, these are refugees that want to work to support their families. If they're going to keep them in detention, they're not able to work. Prior to this announcement, September 22nd, they were letting them in. 4,000 to 5,000 people came in. They simply stopped it because they thought it would look bad for Hillary Clinton with the election coming on, having all these refugees come in. There are thousands more on the way. Let these people work and let them support their families.
Ninaj Raoul, I want to thank you for being with us, Executive Director of Haitian Women for Haitian Refugees on the board of IFCO. That's Pastors for Peace. This is
Okay, you guys, that clip came from Democracy One, and, you know, shout out to Bill Clinton for fucking up Hades. No, but seriously, you know, basically, when he did that rice deal with them, Hades dropped. They import terrorist rice from 50% all the way down to 3%, y'all. So money they could have been getting from their rice, because like they said, their rice was much healthier. Now they can't get nothing from it, and they land from having so many floods and disasters that was caused from a lot of the stuff. That was caused ultimately from a lot of the conditions of the world. You know, if you think about it, Hades get harder than any other place, like in the world, when it comes to those natural disasters. And I don't think that's by any coincidence. You feel me? It's a reason why all of that is happening. I don't really know. Y'all know I'm a conspiracy theorist, so I ain't gonna get into that. But what I will get into is these facts. So because of that, when President Clinton did that deal, well, former President Clinton did that deal with Hades now are like, they're the 5th largest importer of rice from America. So that's just that's just crazy. You feel me? It was all just a scam. So because of that, they haven't been able to do anything as far as like agricultural goes. So now they still trying to figure out ways to get their crops grown back in their homeland of Hades. So yeah, man, it's just it's an ongoing thing. Hades is very important to our culture and history, and I think that I hope that after you guys have listened to this episode, it's going to encourage you to look more into the situation of Haiti's. So yeah, that's all of the information I'm just going to give y'all again. It is Black History Month. I am going to be posting a lot of episodes every day about the Black community, stuff that involves us directly. I don't give y'all full details. I just give you enough to open your eyes because I want you to do research. I am not the person who has all of the answers and facts, but the information that I do have and that I look up on the internet, because everything I get comes from another source. I hope that you guys take it and you teach your kids and you teach yourselves and you keep on studying your history, because we cannot get to where we're going if we don't know where we come from. So thank you guys for tuning in and listening, sharing, and subscribing. Tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell your granddaddy, tell everybody about the Queen Quemo podcast. I'm going to end this episode with a song from a Midwest artist. And you guys keep listening, stay tuned, get ready for Monday. Yeah. Talk to y'all soon.
I'm back, bitch, I'm still packing, y'all still slacking. Your real actions prove everything your hustle skills lack. I'm still rapping, y'all still acting. Shit, I was on house arrest for like 2 years, like fucking shit, I'm still trapped. Man, chasing bands on the band. I'ma feed this where I stand, trying to make 300 grand. Shit, I am what I am, bitch, and that's all I am. I need that Popeye spinach or that green eggs and ham. Shit, shorty, what you want? I got what you need. All you gotta do is come and fuck with Reed. Pop a couple bottles, smoke a couple bees. Call me propane. I'm the fire when you see smoke flame, no cocaine. But your nigga hot as the dope game. The stroke game, make a bitch collapse like a dope vein. Y'all so lame. You niggas soft like the cocaine. Y'all so plain. I'm a real nigga like Soul Plane. I'm just trying to get it dollar signs. I'm with it, so committed. Always on my pivot. Honest when I spit, it's how I live. I'm just trying to get it dollar signs. I'm with it, so committed. Always on my pivot. Honest when I spit, it's how I live it. Painting pictures vivid. Sitting lower than the Honda Civic. Flow terrific, so specific. Doper than the coke you sniffing.